tell you what, right, all I want to say about this fucking tag is that this fucking tag is the best fucking tag in the fucking world. No kidding, man. This is the best fucking tag in the fucking world. Forget about fucking Mazzy and all that shite, right? This is the tag, right here, right now. He's fucking mad for it, innit? Right, indie rock and alternative vinyl tag. The best tag in the world. Let's go. Question 1. Which band or group out of your collection would you like to see live? Well, for me, it would have to be Oasis. There isn't any other bigger band in the world for me than Oasis. And I'll do anything to see them live. I know it's not a possibility because they split up in 2009 and probably not likely ever to come together. Who knows, maybe they will, but I'm not banking on it. But if there's a band, if I could see them live, it'll be Oasis. Question 2. Your first or earliest indie rock album and alternative album that you brought? Well, I think the first indie rock album I brought was this Space Tim Planet. I brought this in the late 90s. I believe at the time I had a paper round and I used my paper round money to buy this. This was on sale at a market in Horsham. I just so happened to be there with my family, shopping, saw it, knew I wanted this album because it was pretty recently new when it came out. Maybe been around, maybe, I don't know, 6 months or whatever. But I've always wanted it. I've always liked the band, always liked the songs on this album. So yeah, this was my first indie rock album. And my alternative album came a couple of years later, 2000, yeah, U2000, and that'll be Wheatus' debut album. Of course, everyone knows Wheatus as the band who made Teenage Dirtbag, which was like a massive one-hit wonder. But this is a great album. And yeah, this does class as alternative, surprisingly. It is very much a punk album. Yeah, but however, by the likes of iTunes, it regards this as alternative music. So I guess in a way maybe it is slightly more alternative than it is punk. But yeah, a great album. So yeah, this is my alternative one. Question 3. Your favourite indie rock and alternative album and why? Well, Oasis definitely maybe just edges it for me regarding the Oasis album. A lot of people prefer the second album, What's the Story, Morning Glory, and that is a magnificent album, don't get me wrong, but I just prefer this one, just a little bit more raw, I guess, a bit more of that kind of raw Oasis sound, a little bit kind of more punk, a little bit more angrier. I tend to prefer the growl of Liam Gallagher's voice, as I think he pretty much sings all the songs on this album, as the other album has a lot of Noel's vocals because of Liam's voice wasn't always he couldn't always do it. Basically, his voice would go, and I think Noel kind of took over the vocal scene on the second album a little bit, maybe about half and half. But this is very much Liam Gallagher's voice throughout. Yeah, I just love it. This is my go-to one and my favourite one of their discography, and that is, of course, Oasis. Definitely maybe. And regarding alternative, I went along with this Red Hot Chili Peppers By the Way album. I absolutely love this album when it came out. The tracks on here are absolutely brilliant. Couldn't get this album out of my head. Universally speaking, I just played and played and played. By the way, of course, there's a great song, Dosed. Just a great album of theirs. And I think by far their best work ever. So, yeah, there's my two. Question 4. Out of those two favourites, which one is my favourite? It's tough, but I haven't really got to give it too much thought. It has to be Oasis, definitely maybe for me. Question 5. A YouTube channel dedicated to your favourite band. Well, for me, I think it would be James Hargreaves Guitar. He's very much a dedicated Oasis fan. He has guitar lessons. I think he does pretty much on his early videos. He was very much a guitar learning channel. Then became an Oasis fan, going in deep diving into Oasis history and very much detailed accounts of what they did. Brilliant channel, go check him out, and that's James Hargreaves Guitar. Question 6. A non-native pressing. Basically a pressing from a different country where the band originally came from. So I went along with this Blur, the Magic Whip. This is a Japanese pressing. So happened it was actually made in Japan, but this is actually a Japanese press of the album. Of course, Blur being a British band, Japanese press, so yeah, completely different country to where they originated. So yeah, I've gone with this one. Question 7. An indie or alternative album you brought in 2023, new or old? Well, I brought this Blur album, the new Blur album, The Ballad of Darren, last year. So yeah, I can actually go for a new album this time, which is quite nice. So yeah, I'm going for this one, Blur, The Ballad of Darren. Question 8. A band or group you discovered in 2023, new or old? So yeah, I'm going for this Clear Lake Amber. They've been around for a while. I wasn't aware of them up till like last year. I was watching someone's YouTube video and they mentioned this album, and I thought I'd take a look into it and snapped it up. And so yeah, I was quite impressed with it actually. They're a local band to me. I think they're a Brighton band. So yeah, it's a pretty good album actually. So I highly recommend picking this one up, and that is Clear Lake Amber. Question 9. Show a bootleg or a live album. I don't have too many bootlegs, so I'm going to have to go for a live album, and that is the Oasis Nebworth 1996. This is their greatest ever live performance ever. This was something special. And it was like a sellout. There was hundreds, thousands, maybe over 1 million people there. Quite staggering, really. And of course, Nebworth Park, Stevenage, Hertfordshire, on the Saturday the 10th of August 1996 and the Sunday the 11th of August 1996. So yeah, it's all detailed on the back there. Nice little package this. So yeah, highly recommend of you picking this one up if you're a big Oasis fan like myself. So yeah, Oasis, Nebworth 96. Question 10. Show a signed album. I don't have too many signed albums, but I do have this one by Ash, Free Will Angels, signed by the band. I brought this on I think eBay a year or two ago, and just yeah, I was lacking this album for some time. Back in the day, my brother owned a lot of albums which I didn't really need to purchase, and then years flew past and I moved away and he moved, and you know I didn't have a lot of his collection, so I seeked out a few of them in the charity shops years later, and this kind of went past me for some time until quite recently, and well, a few years ago, and I just snapped this one up. Signed album. It was quite cheap on eBay. So yeah, signed album. Ash, Free All Angels. Question 11. If you had to choose American or British bands to listen to the rest of your life, which one would you choose? So yeah, it's that same old question again, isn't it? Britain or American? Don't get me wrong, I love American music. The Beach Boys, Tom Petty, and there's so many more. But for me, I think it is British music. There's just so much good British music. Just edges it. Bands like the Beatles, the Stones, Oasis, the Britpop scene. I don't think I could. It would be a struggle to be without either one of them, but I think it would be a little bit more of a struggle without the British music. So yeah, Britain, Great Britain. Question 12. Show an example of multiple formats of the same album. Well, going for that same album again, Oasis, definitely maybe on vinyl. And of course, I think it's 2016 remaster edition on CD. This is terrific. It's like 3 CDs. I think one's the remastered album, one's full of live album tracks, and the other one's got all the sort of the B-sides and things off singles. A lot of the songs were from the Master Plan album, which came later. So a lot of early stuff which didn't make the album, and of course some of the singles, the hit singles, which weren't on the album either, such as the song Whatever. So yeah, there you go, there's 2. Right, question 13. The best band that plays acoustic guitar. Right, well, I think it again has to be Oasis. Noel Gallagher on guitar. Just love his sound. I love his music. And also question 14. Best vocal singer in a band. My favourite singer on vocals, again, Oasis, Liam Gallagher. It just has, I think he was the best front man in the 90s. Of course, in the Oasis heyday, he was just so loud and so aggressive, and he just knew how to throw his voice. I think he kind of wrecked his voice through performing like he did, and also the drink and the drugs affected him, I think, vocally. But in his heyday, in that sort of mid-90s spell, he was the best, and I still think he is the best. So yeah, Liam Gallagher. Question 15. Show an album of male and females in a band. Well, I've gone with this Elastica. This is the only album I think they released. Of course, has a female front man or front woman, and of course, yes, there's 3 females in this band and 1 male. So there you go. And that is, of course, Elastica in the mid-90s, I think this came out. Quite a good album. So yeah, recommend picking this one up. Question 16. Show 2 albums where a band member left the band and joined another band. Pretty easy example, of course, would be Noel Gallagher from Oasis, who quit Oasis in 2009, and then later created his own band, Noel Gallagher's High Flying Birds. Not quite so soon after, I don't think. So yeah, there you go. Oasis to Noel Gallagher's High Flying Birds. And finally, the bonus question, question 17. What VC members, this is just a bit of fun, what VC members would you like to hire? Would you hire to form your VC super band. And what would you call yourself? Right, a super band from VC members. Well, let's just have Ian from Ranking the Obscure. Let's have him on drums. We'll have Rob Ison on guitar, Rob Walker on bass guitar, and yeah, I think that'll be it. Myself on vocals, and probably call us the Rankers, or something worse than that maybe. Who knows? Just make it up. Hope you enjoyed the tag. Till next time, everyone. Bye for now.